follow me on Instagram, then you might have seen that I shared a post by Cosmopolitan the other day, which was all about ASOS's new feature called See My Fit. So the feature is very simple. You have 16 models to choose from. There is petite to tall, there is curvy to slim. You can choose which model you think represents you best. It uses AR, augmented reality, to digitally map the garments onto your chosen model. This means that the models don't actually try the clothes on, so it's not 100% accurate, but it's such a great step in the right direction to more inclusive fashion. As I was scrolling, I was really disappointed to see that there was no wheelchair option to choose from. We all know how hard it is to try and find clothes that fit us properly. Some shops we can't even get into. The reason I was so disappointed was because I remember seeing Chloe Ball Hopkins, a wheelchair user just like myself, modelling for ASOS back in 2018. Now what annoys me, and pardon the pun here, is that brands never seem to roll with it. They do it once as a one-off to get all this attention, they get all of the headlines. But when I looked on ASOS's website this morning, there's not one inclusive fashion model and there is not one inclusive fashion outfit. I was interested to hear what ASOS had to say about this, so I contacted their press department and this is what they had to say. We have no plans in the near future, but this is something we'll continue to look at closely. Our immediate focus in this area is our work with the Paralympics, GB, and preparing for Tokyo 2020, as we'll be producing the ceremonial wear for all Team GB Paralympic athletes, as we have done for the past 2 games. Well, that's not very helpful for the 1.2 million wheelchair users living in the UK today. Now, Chloe Ball Hopkins, who I've mentioned previously in this video, has done a fantastic TED talk all about the importance of inclusivity in fashion. I highly recommend you check it out after you watch this video. I was actually lucky enough to catch up with Chloe, and this is her thoughts on the situation. Hi Chloe, thank you so much for agreeing to come on and chat to me. First of all, would you like to just kind of briefly introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Chloe Ball Hopkins and I collaborated with ASOS a couple of years ago to create a waterproof all-in-one. From there, not a lot happened, so I did a podcast about it with the BBC, which led to me doing a TEDx Bristol talk about the lack of inclusivity in fashion.
Can I just ask how that came about?
That actually came from me having a really kind of rough time at a festival where it was really wet and rough, as you can imagine from a festival in England. But I wanted to stay, I wanted to keep dry and keep warm, so kind of made do with what we could find, like plastic sheets, umbrellas, all sorts. And it just was one of those things where I was like, I'm young, I do quite like my fashion trends, and it didn't look it at that point in time, I didn't feel it. So when I went home, I was like, what can I do to kind of improve this? Because I wasn't the only one in that position. So I kind of put pen to paper, so to say, and knew what I wanted, but didn't know how to get it done. So I sent a few emails to a few companies, and I was lucky that ASOS got back to me. And it happened quite quick from there, between going up to London to their headquarters and working with them, and obviously working with them remotely. It wasn't even a year later that the jumpsuit that I designed was released.
That's absolutely amazing for it to happen so quickly. How did you feel that ASOS chose you to do that?
It was really unexpected. It was one of those things where if I've got an idea, I like to try my best to make it happen. So I did that. I did all I could at that point by kind of making it as easy as possible for the people I emailed. But I wasn't expecting so soon to hear back from such a big brand who would just go, we want to get you up here to do it. And the fact that it then happened really quickly and I played such an active part in the development of the garment, I thought maybe they'd take it and run with it, so to say, but they kept me involved with the whole process. And that was really reassuring, that it meant that when it was released, it was everything that it should be, and more actually, because it was then the process of designing it with them to be inclusive and then wearing it for the website. That was a first, and that was something which I thought would start a bit of a chain reaction.
ASOS have this new feature called see my fit. But there's no wheelchair user, and you and I know that if we put a dress on, we've got to be careful with the length because it's going to ride up, and all sorts of different technical things. So what do you think about that?
There was such an opportunity here, and I feel like they've just missed out on doing something incredible again. I was really surprised when I saw it. I'd heard for a while that this sort of feature was coming, and it plays into something that I've been developing and kind of thinking about trying to do something with. So I was like, this is great. Like, my thinking ties in with their thinking. But then when, like yourself, when I saw it happen, I went on to have a look. There wasn't anybody who reflected us. And as you have said, like, the clothes that we wear when we're in a chair sit very differently and fit very differently to the likes of somebody who you generally see wearing the clothes. So I thought this was a real opportunity to bridge that gap again. Yes, okay, the clothing isn't adapted, but at least we can see what it looks like. So when we're ordering it and trying it at home, we've got a better expectation of what to expect it to be like on us.
I actually contacted their press department, and I said, you know, I'm really disappointed that there isn't more inclusivity. And I said, well, would you like to comment on my thoughts? And they said, oh, well, we're concentrating heavily on dressing the Paralympians for the Paralympics this year.
And that's why I thought ASOS would kind of use this to their advantage, because they do kit out the Paralympic squad. And for myself, that's why I went to them, because I do parasport myself and hope to wear the kit they supply the GB team with someday. That combined obviously with the fact that they don't Photoshop their images either, I think is really important generally for people growing up to see real people, not airbrushed all the time. And that's why with this recent kind of revelation, I thought they would have put their clothes on somebody who they kit out every 4 years for the Paralympics anyway. So you're seeing people like me and you wearing their clothes, not just the kit they put on the Paralympians, but the clothes that are there day in, day out for everyone to buy. I thought we would have been included within that.
They've missed an opportunity there, and I think sometimes it's almost like companies, they kind of want all of this kind of publicity, like look how great we are, look how inclusive we are, and quite a lot of the time people they hone in on the whole Paralympics, but most of us aren't Paralympians, and we need other role models as well within the public eye who aren't Paralympians.
It's hard not to feel like these things are done as like token efforts. Not just speaking to ASOS here, but to any of the companies who we've seen do sort of campaigns around these areas. It's always kind of like a one-off. It's never a permanent structure, which it should be, because there are a lot of people in this country who are classed as disabled in one way or another and who would benefit from these features being put in place. It's a real gap in the market for them. And we can't ignore the fact of the finance in that as well for companies. Like, for them, they would see growth in doing that. So if for no other reason but for them being a company, you'd think they would take that on board. But as you were just saying, generally speaking, and what annoys me with this most across the board is, like you say, not everybody is a Paralympian, not everybody is up there on that pedestal. It's important to have these kind of role models out there, but it also then puts the pressure on other disabled people. The amount of times who I've been out with different people with disabilities, and if people realise that I do sport, they then turn to my friend and say, oh, and what parasport do you do? And they're like, oh, no, I don't. It's like, oh, okay. But that's just because that's what I choose to do. And it's great that there are companies like ASOS supporting the Paralympics and kitting out the athletes, but it does need to go beyond that now. People with disabilities make up a big chunk of their customers, and you are losing out on people. Part of the research I did in the lead up to my TED Talk was to look into those numbers and into those statistics, and we are talking millions, if not billions of pounds being looked out because this isn't happening. And this isn't just because clothing isn't inclusive, which is something obviously I am trying to change within reason. It's also about knowing where to find what's available to you currently, whether that is being able to see it on a person who reflects you, or whether it is being able to kind of find the clothes that work for you. There's something I think that should be done, which is if you go online to do shopping, which is what a lot of people with disabilities do, it's much easier than trying to reach the clothes or trying to get in the stores or reach the tills. You can't find the clothes that work for you because there's no option to. So if you're tall, you click for tall. If you're petite, you click for petite. And there should be an equivalent for people like me to click for inclusive clothes. And it's things like that that companies can be doing currently to make it easier while inclusive clothing catches up, because that's going to take a lot longer. And we're not saying that should happen overnight. companies can do in the meantime to make their life and our life a lot easier.
What is your hope for the future?
Bigger picture, it'd be nice to start seeing brands making clothing more inclusive and making it more accessible in terms of where you can find it and how to find it. So that could be online, like I've just said, it could be in their stores. I don't really know how that's going to look yet because nobody knows yet because nobody's done it. But somebody needs to start it, and as you've seen with what I did with ASOS, I quite like challenging these things, so I'm going to give it a go. I've been working sort of by myself and with the Princess Trust to try and develop that. Whether that then becomes a collaboration with a company again, I don't know. But I definitely hope to play a part in making these things happen.
I think you've been absolutely amazing talking to me today. Thank you so much.
It's nice to speak to someone who's on the same wavelength about all these things.
Yeah, actually, like everything that I've read and seen and of you, I'm like, oh my god, that's like just like me. We're on the same page with this. It's really nice to get someone else's opinion, and especially someone who's worked so closely with the brand. Thank you so much for talking to me. Guys, it's 2020, it's a new decade. I feel like we have progressed so much in the last 10 years, but we still have further to go. Brands need to represent us consistently and in all areas of lifestyle. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up. Make sure to check out Chloe's TED Talk at the end of this video, and I look forward to seeing you in my next one.